Oh, fellers and non-fellers, Jed Scott here as always, and today, well, we're back on the Barracuda. Just because we started down this path, we might as well see if we can fix this daggone thing, because, well, looks like push rods is the main issue. And, well, I just don't feel like welding and cutting floor pans out of my old red Polar over there, so we're going to work on this. And do I have any plans on doing anything with this thing? Do I have any plans on doing anything with the Barracuda if we can fix it? I'll probably drive it around the yard a little bit. That's probably about it. Just one of those things where it seemed like it might actually be kind of an easy fix. So we got push rods on the way. We talked to Shane Polito via our friend Brian at Dust Devil Garage. He got us in touch. He's over at Slant Daily Garage on YouTube. Really cool dude. Helped us figure out some issues as far as the push rods were not strong enough to begin with. Those 5/16 is not enough. We're running a little too much boost, hitting 10 psi, and that's the reason why it was bending exhaust push rods, according to Shane. I'm not even going to try and reiterate how he phrased things. He's a way smarter dude. Makes sense. So we got 3/8 chromoly 80,000 wall push rods coming. We're going to reduce the boost. And instead of being 10% overdriven, we're going to jump down to 5% overdriven with a 52 tooth cog up here. So we should be remedying many issues by cutting boost, strengthening push rods, because if we would have just kept the boost there and dropped the push rods, in the next weak link is the rockers, which I do not feel like upgrading because it's just a hydraulic flat tappet cam. Not a very big one at that. So today's operation, or at least this video's operation, is getting all this blower stuff off without having to drain the coolant, because if you haven't noticed, there's really no room to get that belt off. Basically the blower, all this stuff will come off in one big whack, as you have seen we do before, then the intake, and then hopefully we don't find any issues with the lifters, which we didn't find enough glitter in the oil, or the filters, or in the rest of the engine to really say the lifters are white, but we need to verify those. So it's a good time to have already spent money on push rods and gaskets in hopes of fixing this thing, right? Right? All right. What do you say? Let's get at her and see if we can fix this Barracuda. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I'm pretty amazed at how simple I made this stuff, which, no surprise. One fuel line disconnected. Actually, the blower belt did slip past the radiator up here. You can't get it off from down there, but that's fine because we can leave that on. The throttle cable bracket, that's all undone. And now it's literally the 8 intake manifold blower. Well, these 4 and then the 4 on the other side, and the blower gets to come off. Where's Anna when I need her? Daggone. Alright. Now we're going to rip this blower off. We don't have Anna to help us. Of course, she's our strong person. Alright, to the shop with you. Do, caring like a newborn baby. There we go. One blower removed. Got the blower in the shop, not that it needed to be in here, but I thought it looked really cool carrying it in here. Alright, back to the Barracuda. Alrighty, so that's all been removed. And everything looks pretty good inside the valley here. Just the way I left it. So we will get this gasket off and try not tear it, because I don't know if I can get another one. We'll check all the lifters. We'll check the cam. The new push rods when they get here from Mancini. Well, along with all of our gaskets from Mancini. Alrighty, so we got the intake manifold off, and what's the verdict? What's the verdict? Oh, time for a commercial. I'm kidding. We're not gonna screw you guys with the commercial. Well, hopefully. Whoa! Why are we here? What happened to the video? Oh, that's because I'm not looking in the right direction. That's because we need to be looking at the t-shirts and all the totes. So this is Future Jed. Speaking from the No Name Nationals, we just got back, and these are the shirts that are remaining. We have sold like a total whopping of 39 shirts out of this 200 limited edition run. What we're calling the 07 Classic shirts, which I am very humbled and very thankful for everybody who bought a shirt, because actually everybody in our pit was wearing one of my shirts, including myself and my dad. it was so humbling to be surrounded by all my friends wearing these shirts, and it was actually pretty hot at the track, and these shirts were a little bit thicker than I was anticipating, but we all stayed pretty cool, and they are really nice shirts, and we still have a nice selection. But right now what I am after is, I'm telling you guys that we are working on a way to easily handle taking orders and shipping these individually, because it's mostly just me, Anna, and maybe my mother or dad might chip in to help package these and ship them out. But we're just here, we're doing this all by hand. As you see, there's all of the shirts, and we didn't have enough totes to put them in, but we're working on this so you guys can order shirts if you want them. If not, not a big deal. Back to the video. You guys don't get a commercial right now. So, going along with what Shane said, more bent exhaust push rods. Look at that guy. So far, no other issues I'm seeing. I mean, the cam is camming. Looks like a cam still. I haven't messed with any of the lifters. I haven't touched anything other than remove a couple pieces of gasket that were dangling. But there's that lifter hanging out. Let's grab it. Oh, it's a lifter. And it's not a wiped out lifter neither. I can't get it to focus, but she's good. All right, let's check all the rest of these. All right, sorry I didn't film it. I didn't feel like setting up the tripod, actually digging it back out. I checked all the lifters on the passenger side. Everything looks beautiful. Great wear patterns. Oh, I did destroy the gasket. I got to get one of those. Reminder to myself. So now we'll take off the driver's side valve cover, get those rockers off, and remove those push rods, inspect those lifters. And if that's all looking just as good as this side, well, maybe we can put this thing back together and just go have some fun in the backyard. Alrighty then. I got all the rockers off this side, push rods are out, and it's the exact same story what Shane was telling me on the phone, and I still wish, Shane, I could do you some justice. Shane at Slant Daily Garage, seriously go check him out. So, now we'll check the other side of these lifters, make sure the driver's side's fine, which I'm pretty sure they're all good too. And then, I'm gonna have to think about, do we take this header off and try and fix that cracked tube that happened when we try to get tire clearance? Or I've got those chrome A-body fender wells right there. Those would look kind of cool. Anyways, back to this. So here's a little update. I got tired of the paint on the hood, so Anna and I, in a spurt, we decided to paint it with grill paint because it's the only flat black we had, and it's a little more gray than we had anticipated, but it'll work. It's better than kind of the crappy thing it was, so we're thinking about doing some lettering. That'll be a surprise once we do it. The valve covers have been modified, now they're on. I'm working on trying to get the windows to fit better so I don't have to run nets next year when we go racing, but wouldn't be a big deal. But hopefully trying to get that Lexan to fit a little bit better. And just got done heating it up. Now let me show you what we're working on in the back. And by working on, I mean completely done, because I did this morning. Actually got the trunk pins all redone. So I took all the old ones off they had, which I think these were soda cans or something. I have no idea, because they're very thin and very crappy. So I had some kits from Jegs and got those installed. They were way bigger than the ones that were on here, so I folded the lips around, adjusted everything, put new pieces of rubber hose, so this fits good. The only thing that don't really do anything is a little barn door latch or something right there would work, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're good at putting those on this car. Yeah. So anyways, back up front. So yeah, everything in the engine's looking pretty good. I still haven't checked the driver's side set of lifters, man, because I'm putting it off, but they should be fine. I've got to adjust these little posts here for the 5 hood pins there are. I don't figure there's any reason to really show you me doing that, because if you don't know how to install hood pins or run a drill or a drill bit or put a screw in a hole, well, I don't know what to tell you, really. I don't think I'm the kind of guy who should be teaching you how to do that kind of stuff.
You might start with a beginner video for power tools.
Yeah, that'd be a good place to start, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Anna. That's a nice way of putting that. Anyways, so we're waiting on the push rods. Comp should be pulling one out for us, or, you know, doing a really good one for us. Unfortunately, Mancini Racing kind of dropped that whole ball like hardcore, because there's a box over there with the parts that were supposed to go into that thing to get that thing going, but everything is wrong in that order. Anyways, I also want to give a shout out to Hal, who is at Summit Racing. who helped me spec out the correct shocks for this thing. And not only did he agree, but Shane also agreed. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna put you on here. And anybody who doesn't agree with this, don't worry about leaving a comment, because by the time you see this, I will have already figured out if it works or not. But the only way to put shocks underneath the Barracuda is, and yes, I know I'm very long-winded, but I've rehearsed this part like 1,000 times, and I'm trying to get this said all at once and as quickly as possible. So the problem we have right now is our rear end is moved back roughly 1 inch with those E-body spring hangers to center the wheels and the wheel wells how they used to have them. We have a problem with mounting shocks because now our eyelets on the bottom of the shock plates are in the wrong place to meet up there in the front of that hump, right where that hole is, that big hole. So the only way we can figure it out is to basically flip those plates around and put the shocks in front of the rear axle. And I'm kind of worried about that, but I've been assured, it should be fine. So we're going to figure out how it is. Then my next worry is the U-joints on this thing, and look at that angle. It's freaking terrible. So our rear end ended up being basically 2 degrees further down than it should have, which, using the fancy correct way of doing it, gave us this angle, but doing it the caveman simplified way would have been correct. So I've got the 2-degree shims to fix that. And we're going to get these shocks mounted, which are Rancho 9000 series. Rancho 9000 series, blah, blah, blah. There's the part number. These are 9-way adjustable, really common for guys to use these with super stock leaf springs and pinion snubbers. They're a more affordable version of a QA1. And honestly, I've got QA1 single adjustables on Jezebel. I think they were a complete waste of money. I should have just bought these to begin with. You don't need all those different points of adjustment on just one clicker. If you got the dual adjustments, I could see it, but on a single, waste of money, get those. So we're gonna get those on the car, and, well, I guess let's just get started tearing all that stuff apart so we can get going. Oh, and yes, I did actually add a knob for the passenger door opening. Okay guys, welcome back. It's the next day, waiting on parts, and you know what? I did not want to go on a little rant, but I'm going to go on a rant. So, in the last little portion I talked about Mancini sent us all the wrong parts. Well, Shane, thank you, man, because like when I said to you, I put very little faith in Mancini. You know what? I am never going to buy from Mancini again because I just can't trust them. I thought we had this figured out. Clearly not. Summit, you had everything in stock I needed. I still like Jegs, but Summit's got a nice website, easy to use. And, well, they have everything in stock I needed, including what's inside this box, because someone hasn't screwed up any of my orders, unlike Mancini. So the last push rods we got from Mancini were the 3/8 neck down to 5/16 ball on either end for the stock hydraulic, flat tappet cam, and stock rockers. They're supposed to be 9/300 or 9/320 as far as length. We got the right measurement now, at least close enough. And we wanted like 80 thousandths wall. And we wanted good quality push rods, and we needed 3/8. So the other ones were 3/8, and they were 5/16 ends on the balls, but they were 9/125. I don't know how that measurement came about, but anyways, so they express ordered me a set. They're supposed to be correct, to be here in time to be able to put this motor together, to be able to run it, and actually make a video for you guys. Oh, here we go. That was just stock 5/16 basically. So yeah. Again, Mancini dropped that ball. And yeah. So there's my little deal. But I will show you what Summit didn't screw up on my order on, because these are the parts to finish the... Oh, that's the wrong box. Oh, finally back. We got the right parts to finish the engine. Shane, Edelbrock, Comp Cams, you guys. All right in my book. In fact, I am a vintage sticker connoisseur. And this sticker has no adhesive left, but I'm going to use it. So we're going to get some packet tape. We're going to put it on from the back side of the glass to also protect it. But it's staying on the Barracuda. Thank you guys. And also, you got a bigger Edelbrock decal. I don't have a bigger one than that, so. I guess it's only fitting to go with the Edelbrock heads and all the other blah, 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 blah. But anyways, thank you guys, because you got me the correct freaking push rods. Shane, you are the man. These are the right length. They are the 5/16 to 3/8. They're 80 thousandths wall. These are going to be perfect. I checked them for length. We got plenty of, the length is correct. We got plenty of clearance in the heads, so no rubbing issues there. So now I can get to work cleaning this engine up and getting it ready to go back together. But first, all right, everybody, so we are here. Dad is here, and we are working on this rear end setup. So we have our shims, which Dad is holding, our 2-degree shims. We also have 4 degrees, so we can correct this geometry. But the idea is to put the shocks on the front side of the axles. That way they'll clear since the rear end's been pushed back. So Dad went ahead and did that last night while we were live streaming. So thank you, Dad. And also thank you for popping into the live and hanging out. So let's see if we can get those Rancho shocks in and get these shims in and, well, not die. Oh gosh, bless it. Those shocks ain't gonna work at all, but Dad had a pretty good idea of using an eyelet style on the top, and we're gonna mount and gusset it, the shocks up into a different area, but a straight area. It'll work out pretty good. It'll be up here in the mono tub, but it's gonna be hard to show you. Here we go. Okay, so here's how we're gonna have our shocks. They're gonna be on the front of the axle. Again, don't worry about telling me if it's wrong, because it's probably definitely wrong. But anyways, and they're gonna go straight up, and we're gonna mount them up into that flat area right up there. See, there's the stock mount right there. We can't get to that no matter what we do. And we could put a tie bar from the frame rail, but I don't really want to weld with the fuel line there and stuff. So we're gonna mount up into that flat portion up in there with an eyelet, and we're gonna gusset it with some flat steel, some thick stuff. So that way it's got plenty of meat up there and spreads the load out. Back onto the shock endeavor, we have a different set of Ranchos with a stud on top to go with Dad's plan. And right now he's leveling off of anything he can get because, well, that's a little too long to fit inside the frame rail. The idea is basically take this shock, probably gonna knock this sleeve out right there. It's polyurethane bushing. Put it up there, straight up, and then we'll have a 9-way adjustable shock. And of course we're gonna gusset. So here's Dad's plate and his idea. And sandwich that plate on this side of the floor, and then another mirroring it on the top side, and that's what the shocks are going to be mounted to. Quarter-inch thick steel plate, so
4 inches wide.
It ought to be plenty extra stiffening up there.
It'd probably be better if it was tied in. We'll have to see if it flexes this.
Yeah.
We might have to gusset it in, but it'd give us something to weld to.
There's the shocks mounted vertically, and there's no way to get this looking just right, but Dad's got them all parallel. They are perfect. But,
keep it from bouncing.
Yep, they're going to do what they're supposed to. It's just an old race car. It's not like we're driving them down the street. And now they're mounted vertical. We'll get these boots down, and then we'll get them tightened up there, get the rest of the bushings on up there, those little guys. And about that time, I'm going to put this thing on the ground. Dad prevailed, and well, there are 2 shocks right there with, yeah, you can see Dad's plate right there, and we'll go underneath, and kablamski, adjustable shocks, straight up and down perfectly, gusseting plate right there, ready to rock and frickin' roll. You the man, Dad. Oh, never mind. You ain't the man yet. You're like 3/4 the man. But still, that's better than being 1/4 the man. All right, Dad. Mom. Anna's still working on finishing up another video. So props to her. So we got our push rods, and now we're gonna finish getting all this stuff cleaned up. I had everything cleaned up. Do one more good wipe down, but we got to finish scraping valve cover gaskets, test fit everything. Got the blower manifold all ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna go clean threads, and Dad, you get to scrape gasket material now. It's your turn. And you can always delegate that down to Mom, but you can't really go down to Anna because she's already doing something way cool. Yeah, Mom's eating, so I guess you're kind of on your own there, Dad. Unless you want to go clean threads.
Ain't nothing but fun.
All
Alright, let's get to her. Well, it's about time for us to prime this engine up, so let's see if we can get some oil circulating. Give her a go, Dad. Oh yeah, there we go. We got 20, 40, climbing fast. Alright, well, with the engine all primed up now, we're going to go and get the intermediate shaft reinstalled back into the place it was before. Get an O-ring on the MSD distributor, which was missing one apparently. Get back to the hyperlapse. Get that blower up. It's like carrying a baby. Just a very, very heavy baby. Whose family was probably only fed on McDonald's. Like, for like 80 generations. It's freaking insane. But seriously, you just can't pick up a 671 blower with your two 660 center squirter. I'm sorry, you're not much of a man to me. Oh God, don't do that.
Is your hand stuck?
Yeah, don't do that. That's too much caveman. Alrighty, well there's the blower. All we gotta do is tighten everything up, make sure everything still functions. We got oil pressure, no problem. So, when Dad gets back from the Chiefs game, we're gonna see if we can maybe make some noise for you guys. I don't know, maybe, possibly, potentially, but you'll see in a bit. Oh, and also for safety, fire extinguisher is mounted. Anna, you know what time it is?
What?
Dad, it's time. The time has come for all this work to see if this thing is gonna, as you would say, Dad.
Say they're gonna come and bleed.
So here's to it. Let's get you guys set up. We know we got oil pressure. We know there's water in water and there's oil in oil. No mixing. As long as carburetors don't fight us and everything works right, this thing should be okay.
Ready?
Yep. Not yet, Anna. We're not doing that yet. You want to see if the neutral safety switch works?
Yeah.
It works.
Check.
Okay, we're good there.
I got something for putting out the fire.
Ready?
Yeah.
Timing's a little bit way off.
So that's fast.
That's like backwards. Ignition on. First, let's just test water pump. Fan goes on.
Like.
Yep.
Very short.
So like movie magic, you know, I'm starting to sell merch now. We're sitting here trying to make a pretty decent video for you guys, and guess what the frick happens? It's 180 out. You can't make this stuff up. I don't? Oh.
How many times will we get the satellite to bust right off after taking the scripture out?
Oh, you don't want this on camera? You want me to expunge this?
We're still plugged in everywhere.
Screwdriver ain't even plugged in. Ready? Fire in the hole. It ran! Woohoo! I don't know if it's actually in the greatest health, but it freaking ran! So, you guys want to see more? You gotta wait till the next one. So we'll see you then. Yeah, say bye-bye. Because we're leaving them off with a hell of a cliffhanger. Bye-bye. Anna?
Bye-bye.
And cut. Sounds a little flat to me, but the oil looks good. I guess let's see if she'll pull out of here. What do you think? Holy crap, the thing freaking moves. I mean, we have got timing work to do, but it dug trenches with the slicks and it threw stuff. Oh, and Anna did a good job catching that video because it's idling a little high because, well, nothing's quite right yet. But I did not plan on taking it for a freaking full toot, but I went for a full toot. Yeah. So we got some timing work to do, some carb work, but it is getting late. And but thank you again, Anna. Great camera work, great paint, even better paint work.
Thanks.
All right, now we just gotta be mechanically as good as Anna is, as she is with art, as we are mechanically. That works somehow, right? All right, let's make this engine work. And just like that.